Florida Governor Ron DeSantis is here. I know, Governor, you've been at these Turning Point USA events. He has an infectious spirit, the energy. It's just incredible what they've taken away.
No question. And, on the one hand, it's immensely sad when you see someone 31 years old, beautiful young wife and young kids taken from us in this way. But I got to tell you, my sadness when I heard the news has been overcome with anger. I'm very angry that you had a guy that dedicated his life to taking the ideas that we all believe in and bringing them to inhospitable environments, the college campus. People talked about him running for office. He could have gotten elected to some red legislative district. He wouldn't have had nearly the impact. He chose to go in the places where he knew he was going to get pushback. But he was dedicated to this idea that, I have a right to speak my mind. I want to change your mind. You can ask me tough questions. I'm going to be respectful and civil, but I'm going to tell you what I believe. And that's what he was doing when he got assassinated for political purposes. So I think he left a big legacy. Obviously, it's going to shatter the family. But this is a big wound for this nation because a Republican government cannot endure if we cannot have situations where it's safe to disagree, where you can actually go and give a different perspective. But we've seen people get shut down on college campuses. We've seen violence, not approaching this level, on college campuses. And then this event, I think, really gets to the heart of whether Republican government can long survive. So I'm very angry at what happened today. Obviously, they got to catch this guy, and we need a very quick death penalty prosecution. I don't want to see this take forever and a day. We need justice for this.
So we had two guys, suspects, in custody. They've both been released. It's a very dicey situation out there. As you know, the guy that murdered those 4 kids in Idaho, he got all the way across the country in a car afterwards. So I think the FBI really, really, really needs to get some luck here and work their tails off to make sure we get this guy fast, because the longer he's at large, the harder it is to apprehend him.
Well, and he had the perfect opportunity to blend in because the crowd dispersed. No one knew, there were still going to be shots, and everyone's running for their lives. And that's a scene of chaos. But I do think he had to seem like he was in some type of sniper overwatch position.
Yep.
Reports I saw was a couple hundred yards. That's something that somebody should have seen him set up. There should be some evidence of this. So I hope that they're able to piece that together very, very quickly.
The hostility that you're seeing on these campuses, I mean, we joke about it because sometimes it's a little silly, but now it's not silly. I mean, you'd never expect this in some rough neighborhoods in urban America. You don't expect this in a college campus in Utah.
No, but I think it flows from this intolerance to opposing ideas. One of the things we've done in Florida is say students are going to be held accountable if they are interfering in a graduation ceremony or shouting down a speaker, because that's not behavior that's conducive to a free exchange of ideas. And so I think that's very important. Now, this is obviously a premeditated assassination to try to snuff out an opposing viewpoint. So, yeah, this is the most extreme example we've ever seen. But the intolerance has been very real for a long time. And, that's part of the reason I think why so many people respected Charlie, because he knew he was going into the lion's den when he's going on the campuses of these universities. He knew what he was in for. And yes, there are threats. He probably got threats almost every time he went. We've seen that happen in the past. So his commitment to these principles, even when it's not easy, is something that we should all really give credit for.
I completely agree, and the country needs more of that. You need more debates. You need more free exchanges of ideas. The left has to come over here and listen for once, and they can throw out ideas. We need to listen. God knows we listen and we've heard enough. But to kill somebody because you don't like what they're saying, no. We're done with that. And there will be consequences for this.
Well, I was a congressman, Jesse, years ago, and just narrowly got out of the congressional baseball field when you had a deranged gunman shoot Steve Scalise and others. And he did that because he was a leftist and he didn't like that there were Republicans practicing baseball. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, this is a charity baseball game, and you have someone that's so deranged and so filled with hate that he just wants to go out there and start spraying bullets around a field. But that is just the situation that we see increasingly in this country, and it's got to change.
Yeah, it'll change. You better believe it will. Governor, thank you so much. Very sad day.
Thanks.
Hi.